morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to episode 249 of Dude and a Monkey. My name is Ian Loring, and as always, I am joined by
Matt Foster. Hello, everybody.
Indeedly. And this week on the show, we've got a bit of a triple banger for you, actually. So, we're going to be taking a look at the Monsters vs. Robots Smash 'em Up, that is Pacific Rim Uprising. We're gonna be having a look at Unsane, the Steven Soderbergh psychological thriller. Don't call it horror, how dare you? And new to Amazon Prime randomly in the UK quite early, the George Clooney directed apparent misfire from last year, Surburbicon. We'll see what we thought about it. Noel was going to join us, but unfortunately, he wasn't able to get to the cinema, but to be fair, he has been busy. The second episode of Adventures in VHS 2 launched today as we record. It is the first part of his Transformers Spectacular, and it looks like
his purpose.
His purpose in life. The guy's written a book, but this is his purpose in life, and good on him. Give it a listen. Adventures in VHS 2. That's TOO. Anything been happening at all this week?
Not that I've noticed, to be honest. No, it seems to have been a bit of a quiet week. You've got the usual people getting their panties in a wad of the week. Seems to have been Isle of Dogs, which we'll be reviewing next week. So there's been that, but that kind of seems to have blustered itself out a little bit, and people seem to have not been too much going on really this week. It seems to be we've had a bit of a break from it all, haven't we?
Indeed. Okay, cool. So, well, let's just get on then. Trailers. What have you been looking at, man?
Well, there's the new Deadpool trailer obviously came out, so it's one of those where I'm at the point where I'm like, do you know what? You've got me. I kind of don't want to see any more of it now. I kind of just want it to be out now, so I can go and watch it. Really.
Yeah, too right. Just looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, really, doesn't it?
That's it. I saw some things coming out saying that the early test screenings were a little bit negative, and then the guys came out and said, "Okay, that's news to us. Where's that come from?"
Yeah.
And then all those news outlets came out and said, "Oh, actually, actually it's been quite positive, but maybe it's been negative." And they're going, "Huh, okay. Do you know what? Fuck it. Just go watch it." Which seems to be the Deadpool thing is, look, if you go watch it. If you don't. We've already made all the fucking money on the previous one.
Yeah, quite.
What else has there been? Tag, the Jeremy Renner, Ed Helms, Jake Johnson, Josh Hamm Tag movie.
Yeah, that noted comedian Jeremy Renner.
Yep.
It's weird.
It is weird. But do you know what? I'm looking at it going, if that's a quiet week, I'm actually quite up for that.
Yeah, that one kind of feels like it might be the one big release on a week during the World Cup.
Yeah, it could be. Do you know what? Even if there's something else big release that week, I'm probably still going to go and see Tag as well, because I'm looking at going, I think I might quite enjoy that. On a pure stupidity level.
Yeah. We'll see, eh? We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm not convinced.
That's one of those things. It's for some reason it just kind of appeals to me. The fact that it's based on a true story as well is kind of piquing my interest a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, obviously, I think there's going to be some fucking huge diversions taken from the true story. But I don't know. It just the Jeremy Renner, why? Like, I'm assuming the rest of them are going to be the main focus, and he's very much in the and. So they're just going to be kind of chasing him throughout pretty much the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's just going to pop up every now and then.
Yeah, I think that looks pretty much what it's going to be like. Yeah. What else did I catch? Oh, the spy who dumped me.
Oh, yes, I saw that as well.
Yeah, that looks fucking awful.
Yeah, it's not looking amazing. It's not looking amazing.
Yeah. No, it's firmly kind of stamping down now for me a little bit like right. So I really liked Kate McKinnon in Ghostbusters, but then in pretty much everything else, she's seeming incredibly one note. I
just thought she was Christian Bale to start off with, and I was like, is this some sort of weird Bad Moms spin-off or something? And then...
yeah, that I'd watch this.
Yeah.
I won't.
Yeah. Odd one. That's an odd one, that.
It is an odd one, yeah. Other than that, I don't think there's been anything else I've caught. No, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I don't know, let me have a look now. Trailer for Superfly, which is directed by, I shit you not, Director X, who's done music videos for like Rihanna and Drake and whatnot.
All right.
And yeah, it looks the tagline is redefine the hustle. It's like, don't fucking look at it. It looks like every single other one of these fucking films that you know, great, redefine the fuck off. So there's that. And yeah, also The House with a Clock in Its Walls.
Yeah, I saw that there was a trailer for that, but then didn't watch it.
Yeah. Eli Roth made an Amblin Entertainment kids horror film.
Is that from Eli? Is that Eli Roth?
It's Eli Roth, written by the guy who created Supernatural on TV, and it's an Amblin film.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
That's... I see. I'm actually vaguely interested now.
To be honest, it looks like it could be quite fun. Like it, yeah. I'm a little bit up for it, to be honest. And you know,
right.
Fair play. Eli Roth's getting the fucking work in, isn't he?
Yeah, because it's one of those weird ones where he's not actually directed as many movies as you'd think he has. To say that Cabin Fever was 2002. You know, he's getting on for, 16, 17 years, and he's not done that many movies, really. And then he's got 2 out in a year.
Yeah, I mean, he did Hostel and Hostel Part 2, and then there was kind of just a period for a few years there where he thought he was hot shit, and then he started producing, like, he fucking produced that fucking awful, Aftershock, was it?
Yeah.
Like, awful fucking film. And yeah, like, he's just been kind of popping up and I mean, like, the Death Wish remake, and now a kid's horror film. Which is an Amblin one, so I'm assuming Spielberg's got an executive producer credit at the very least.
You think, wouldn't you? Well, I know that the Death Wish remix, it's still credited as being written by Joe Carnahan, isn't it?
Yeah, he's disowned it though, hasn't he? Like,
and he's basically come out and gone, look, do you know what? I took the fucking money.
Yeah.
I admit it. I took the fucking money. They offered me a shitload of money. I took them it, gave them my script. They're still putting my name on it, but that is not my fucking script.
Yeah, yeah.
Which, to be fair, at least he's on his hand up and going, took the fucking money.
I don't know. We'll see on that. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be good, but I also get a feeling it's not going to be the worst film of the year.
I get a feeling it's not the worst film of the year, but I also get the feeling that it's kind of landed at exactly the wrong time.
Yeah, I mean, well, fuck, man. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Sometimes movies just come out where you go, just go away and come back out give it like 6 months and you might be all right to come out then. But for now, just go away.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Okay, so I think that's about it, actually. So what do you want to start with, review-wise?
Well, I actually, as of 11 o'clock this morning, I hadn't seen any of these movies.
Jesus fucking Christ, that's a
I
day.
have fucking triple banged them today.
That is a day.
I went to the cinema at 2:30 today.
Wow.
And I got home at 7:10. Did Pacific Rim and Unsane back to back. Literally walked out one and walked into the fucking other.
Boosh.
And I fucking loved it.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's do Unsane.
Oh, what? You think you're too good to talk to me now, Allison?
Oh, my name's not Allison, but yeah, I am too good to talk to you.
Hey, bitch! Listen, when you fall asleep, I'm gonna cut your hair off. All of your hair.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. With what? They let you anywhere near sharp objects? I doubt that very much. Oh, God, you're scaring me to death, you mental patient. I'll be thinking about you when I'm back in my own bed, in my own house, getting ready to go to my own job.
So, Unsane is directed by Steven Soderbergh and stars Claire Foy, Joshua Leonard, and Jay Farrow. Oh, and Amy Irving. Claire Foy stars as the interestingly named woman whose name I can't remember.
Sawyer Valentini.
Sawyer Valentini, that was it. A woman who has moved to a new city, doesn't know anyone. She's got a new job, seems to be doing well in it, even though her boss is kind of trying to make the moves on her. But she has a bit of a secret, and that is that she is essentially running away from a stalker. She goes to a psychiatrist one day and admits to, at times, but not right now, having thoughts of harming herself. And through the machinations of the American healthcare system, finds herself involuntarily committed with a week to spend in the psychiatric ward. Wouldn't you know it? Who finds her and starts working as a nurse there? Only the stalker, played by Joshua Leonard. Or is it? All spoilers all the time. Mark, what do you think of Unsane?
It's very Soderberghy. Soderbergh's he's got many kind of facets to what he does, and he does things like the Ocean's movies and Logan Lucky that we watched last year, and I think we both quite enjoyed, didn't we?
Yeah, for sure.
So he's got those type things, but then he's also got things like the one that he did recently with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Rooney Mara. What was it called?
Side Effects.
Side Effects, that. And then things that he does sort of on the side, so Haywire and bits like that. The ones where he seems to be artistically showing off is what I would say. There's a hook to them usually. And the hook with this is it's all shot on an iPhone 7 Plus. But I don't think that actually takes anything away from it. I think that the story is still interesting enough, and it's kind of got stuff to say about stuff, but then it's got this rap of this stalkery thing, and is she insane, is she not? Personally, I think it shows its hand way too early with that, and kind of takes that away from you a little bit. And the performances are really good. I think the story lets itself down sometimes, but I think part of that is I think that sometimes Soderbergh just doesn't give a shit about stories sometimes. But it is a little bit uncomfortable to watch. It is quite claustrophobic to watch. The acting's really good, and overall, I quite enjoyed it. If you can mean it by that, it's interesting enough and it keeps you entertained enough throughout. Sags in the middle is what I'd say.
Interesting. I mean, I really really liked it. The thing about it that I thought was quite interesting, that unlike a lot of Soderbergh's more kind of genre-y kind of element, like films, I actually thought it had some shit to say, and that's mainly thanks to Claire Foy, who I think if this film was coming out at a certain time of the year might be getting a little bit of awards buzz for this. It's a really stellar, serious performance in a film which does indulge more base genre tendencies at times. I don't think it's perfect. The thing is, because I see what you're saying about it showing its hand, because it basically, by the end of the first act, it's pretty much you know he is there and she's not mad. Yeah. But I kind of don't. In a way, I think the marketing for the film was building that up as that's the mystery of this film, but it's actually a study in how women have to deal with the world, both the world in general and also women with very specific history with stalkers. The one scene that kind of really, really cemented that for me is the Matt Damon scene, where literally, he's basically got a monologue that goes on for a good few minutes about all the things that she has to do because some fucking creep decided to stalk her. So now she's got to do all this stuff to make sure that he doesn't get to her and doesn't infect her life through no fault of her own. She's got to do all this stuff. And I think the way that it presents her as this absolutely not perfect woman who is not mad, who is not hysterical, who is just living a very, very traumatized life and not getting help that she needs, I think is really interesting.
But her reactions to things sometimes are a little bit OTT. Once she gets into that, she starts. She goes from very quickly from zero to fucking really quickly the minute she's kind of in this really fucking granted weird situation. But she doesn't sell herself that well. She sells herself as being crazy quite fucking quickly.
Well, the thing is, I think the reactions of the staff are pretty, do you know how many calls the police get? From people saying this, every day? No one's coming. I don't know. I don't see that actually.
When she sees the guy for the first time, she literally starts freaking out. It's him. He's the stalker. She starts going like that, but she's not doing it in a terrified woman way. She's doing it in an angry way. She might have been better to have kind of gone, hang on a minute, I know this guy. Can you at least check? Can I speak to somebody? Because this guy isn't who he fucking says he is. She acts very quickly like a crazy person. In the same way as when she has the phone, rather than going with the orderlies, can you come and look at this? Can you come and look at this? She just runs at them, fucking screaming. They're going to react like that. There's points where she could carry herself a little bit better to not fucking seem crazy.
The thing is, it's because where she is that she seems crazy. I don't know, man.
If you're trying to show somebody something on a phone and you run at them screaming at it, whether you're in the middle of the fucking street, a restaurant, or in a mental hospital, you're gonna fucking seem crazy.
Well,
you would.
Yeah, but I mean,
if you're being rational, you look at it and you go, and she looks at it because she looks at it in quite a rational way. Phone, she pulls it out, she looks at it and goes, "Oh my god! If she'd have just gone, can you look at this? Can you just look at this? There." Then it would be fine, but she doesn't. She jumps up and runs. She's just, which is weird because she seems quite balanced at points, and then there's points where she needs to have that balance, and she just fucking doesn't at all. And one of the things I really liked about it was she doesn't come across as being, you could possibly see her as being crazy. That's one of the really good things about it. You know, there's no ambiguity. She's clearly being fucked over. There's not a, you don't think, well, maybe is she a bit mad?
But
it's very much set out that she's not at all. That she's being fucked over.
But I don't know. I don't know that we could say that is not the reaction to have in that moment, though. Like, I think the angry reaction.
But are you saying that? But you've got to admit though that if she'd have done things in a calmer manner, she would probably have got a different reaction other than, well, she's just fucking crazy.
Well, yeah, but I mean, to be fair, she tries to calm stuff early on. I mean, not in that particular situation, but she tries being calm and rational with them earlier on. Like when she's talking to the head doctor and whatnot, and it doesn't get her anywhere.
Yeah, but then acting crazy in a mental hospital is going to get you even... She doesn't behave, I think, in a rational sense at points. She does behave like a crazy person.
I don't know, man.
Like, which is kind of playing into their hands.
She's in this situation which is just, I don't know, is completely unknowable by us and hopefully always will be. And everything else she does it in rational ways. Going up to him with the phone and saying to him, look, give me the phone, otherwise I'm just going to tell him that you've got the fucking phone. And stuff like that. She does everything else in rational ways, but there are moments where she could prove her case, she goes too far. I don't know whether they'd let her prove her case.
But she never gives him a chance to beyond that first moment where she's saying to the doctor about that, because she reacts like a crazy person. And she does assault 2 people on a first night.
Well, yeah, but again, man, that's a hell of a situation to be in.
But she doesn't say to the doctor, when she's sat there with the doctor and he's saying, you assaulted the patient, you assaulted what is it? She doesn't say, hang on a minute, he grabbed my tit. Which she could have actually at that point said, hang on a minute, this is why I reacted like that, was he grabbed me, so can we just put that to one side and can we have him away from everybody, please? So it just there was moments where I felt it was a little bit, it just didn't feel, it felt like it was trying to reach for 2 different things. She didn't react the character didn't feel completely balanced, which is the whole point, is she's supposed to feel, you're not supposed to think she's crazy.
Well, I think in that moment, you are wondering whether she's crazy or not, though.
But I don't think you're ever supposed to think she's crazy, innit? I think that's why it shows its hands so early.
There's definitely a little bit in the first act there, just to get you in the room.
All this is beyond that moment where he shows her the envelope.
Is it?
Well, what is it? The bit with the phone and stuff like that is all beyond that envelope bit, yeah.
Well, hang on. So, yes, but the reason why she's not showing the staff the phone and whatnot, because the first question will be, well, where'd you get that from?
She tries to show the staff the phone. She just runs at them with it screaming.
Oh, sorry, no, you're right. No, you're right.
Just say that there's moments like that where I felt, it just felt a little bit, and the fact that guy can literally just fucking wander around the hospital basically just doing whatever.
I think,
is weird.
That's obviously just an indictment of the system and the fact that once they got them in there, they don't really care. It's like basically make sure none of them kill each other. I mean, that's essentially all it is. Like the scene, there's that scene early on when Jay Farrow's like basically leading the therapy session, and the nurse or whoever is literally just sat there watching him.
Yeah,
I mean, it's that's obviously the point there.
Yeah, there is a lot of that, and the fact that you've got just some bits which just didn't add up for me. But on a whole, I thought Clive Foy was brilliant in it.
Mm-hmm.
But on a whole, there's some bits that just didn't feel right. It goes fucking very quickly as well. It goes into just the last sort of 10-15 minutes where he's killing, he's fucking neck breaking Juno Temple and stuff like that, was a little bit like, okay, that's kind of come out of nowhere.
Well, I don't know. It's just like, it's kind of like inner rage that he's had from all this fucking shit that Foy's been giving him. Basically, like, now he can express it on someone who he doesn't love, in quotes.
Mm.
Well, that's what I think anyway, you fucker.
Yeah, the thing is, I think it's a little bit, I don't know, I found the story a little bit like it was playing second fiddle to its director.
I don't know. I thought there was some really interesting shit going on with what it was trying to say.
But a little bit like a lot of the time when sort of it does stuff like this, I think that it's got interesting shit. I just wish it'd kind of explore it a little bit more. It just didn't seem to. It gives you the, like, literally, like, the fucking. It gives you, like, the Wikipedia entry of these interesting points, but doesn't go fucking beyond it.
I don't know. I think it's just, in those points, I think it's just being a bit more, I don't know, it's being a bit more subtle. Like, in all honesty, I mean, for all the, like, fucking screaming and stuff that happens in the film towards the end, I genuinely think there's shit going on under the surface with Foy and with the way people react to her in the whole kind of hysterical woman sense. I think is quite interesting, and I think would merit some rewatches. I also think the ending is fucking amazing for that.
So did you like the ending?
I loved that last scene.
See, I hated it.
Oh, you!
I hated it. It for me, that pulled away all of the. That made it feel a little bit like too much like a hokey genre movie for me.
But she's,
the bit in the restaurant.
But it's like she's never. It's basically saying she's. It's an interesting inversion on that whole, like, is the killer actually dead thing at the end, where it's like, yeah, the killer is dead, but he's fucking. It's basically stuck in her head, and that kind of look with the freeze frame at the end, I think is fantastic.
It's a nice shot, but I just felt that it's a little bit like, all right, so she wasn't crazy, but now she's been sent crazy.
Well, no, it's not that she's been sent crazy. It's just that she's still seeing him in places.
Stabs a guy.
Yeah, but she doesn't though. Like
she very nearly does.
Right, Mark. There's crazy and there's post-traumatic stress. They're two very different things.
No, all right, come on, that's a little bit flipping it around there. But she very nearly stabs a guy. And what I'm saying is, there's post-traumatic stress, but she's being forced to that point where now she probably should be committed because she probably is a danger to other people.
Which is a really dark, interesting ending.
It is. But I don't know. It didn't fit right with me. That it just didn't. I didn't like it.
We're going to have to agree to disagree on this.
We are on this. That's it. Sometimes people just get different things from different films. It didn't quite get me.
Okay. All right.
But in saying that, Soderbergh rarely does.
All right.
I find him a very, very cold director.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
So I'm guessing you're definitely not shit on it then.
I am. What are you?
I'm touching cloth with it.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think it's shit, but I just can't get close enough to saying I think it's definitely not shit. But Claire Foy is very, very good in it. I do think it's too long, and it's less than 100 minutes.
Yes. That I like the music as well. Though, like the kind of electronic-y music at the start, and towards the end, I thought was pretty solid.
Yeah, it is, and there's some interesting stuff in it. I don't know. It's one of those where I think on rewatch I could either go, do you know what, fair enough. Or I could go, no, do you know what? It's going down. It's one of those. I think it could. What is it? But I am looking forward to rewatching it.
Okay, good stuff. All right, fair enough.
Our audience thing on that, by the way, was definitely not shit. 70%.
Yeah.
Touching cloth 20%, shit 10%, and Geostorm 0%.
How many votes?
10.
Okay. Good work, most people. Okay, so let's move on then. Let's do Surburbicon.
Do you live here now, Miss O'Roy?
Oh, well, I'm here now, of course.
Is that a temporary or a permanent arrangement?
I think Mickey needs a mother.
Of course.
What was that word?
Excuse me?
Well, you said it all boiled down to one word.
Did I? Oh, yes. Yes, it all boils down to one word. Coincidence. That happens in the opera a lot.
Coincidence.
Yeah, it gets ridiculous. But in real life, it doesn't happen that much.
Well, I guess if it did, it would stop being a coincidence.
See, it's not the policy, Mr. Rory, it's the claim. See, a coincidence on a claim, that's like it's like a little red flag that makes us sit up and take notice. And this claim has a bunch of little red flags on it.
What kind of red flag?
Surburbicon is directed by George Clooney and stars Matt Damon, Julianne Moore, Oscar Isaac, and others. So, Surburbicon, what's that about then? Matt Damon is a gentleman married to Julianne Moore, lives with her sister as well, also played by Julianne Moore, and his son. When a home invasion turns murderous, Matt Damon basically has to try and hide an increasing amount of very, very dodgy skeletons in his cupboard. And it's all a bit Coensy, but there's also a black family next door who are getting increasingly hassled by the general neighbourhood, which has absolutely no bearing on the main plot of the film whatsoever, and is really, really weird. Mark, what do you think of Surburbicon?
It's a bit of a fucking mess, isn't it?
Yep.
It's co-written by the Coen brothers, but it's not like they co-wrote it with George Clooney and what's his name? That's it. It's not like they co-wrote it or sat down and wrote it together. It was written by Coens, and then it was given a second rewrite.
It was like quite an old screenplay by the Coens, by all accounts.
Yeah. And then Ezra and Clooney rewrote it, and then Clooney has turned it into the film we see. So I think I remember reading, it was written before they did Raising Arizona, I think.
Bloody hell, really?
I'm sure I remember reading that. It was written, it was the film they were going to make before they made Raising Arizona, but they couldn't quite get it right, and then Raising Arizona came to them, they wrote that, and then went, fuck it, let's do that. Wow. And Raising Arizona was what, their second film? Or third?
What did they do? Blood Simple. Fucking.
Let's have a look.
Who the fuck directed Crime Wave? No, that was Sam Raimi, wasn't it? But it wasn't.
Sam Raimi.
Wasn't it written by them?
Written by one of the Coen brothers. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I thought there was a connection there.
I think it's written by Joel.
Okay.
Let's have a. I'm gonna have to fucking check this now, aren't we? Coen brothers filmography. Raising Arizona Where was their second film.
Wow. Okay. All right.
So yeah, I'm sure I read that. I might be talking complete bollocks, but I'm sure I read that somewhere. Yeah, it's. The thing is, like you say, there's this story dumped in the middle of it, because the idea is that Surburbicon's this purpose-built neighbourhood, and then you have this African-American family arrive, and that's how the film opens. So you're thinking, oh, this is going to be the crux of the film, because it opens with, the whole advertisement for Surburbicon, and then you've got the mailman who's in front of everybody and knocks on the door of the new neighbours, and, a black woman answers the door, and he's like, oh, what the... and then it kind of turns. And it's a good while. It's a good, 12 minutes before we see Matt Damon. He doesn't appear for a while, and it's all centered around this arrival of this black family in this purpose-built community.
Yeah.
And then that runs throughout the film, but goes nowhere and actually has no bearing on the story. Because you think, or I don't know whether you thought, but I thought when because remember, all spoilers all the time, guys. When Matt Damon goes and wakes the kid up and brings him down and sits him down, I'm thinking that the guys that were there are about to say, "Tell your fucking kid to stay away from, the black family," because they've watched him go off and play there.
Sure,
but no,
and
I thought, oh, it's that. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't get any of this from the trailer. This has got a bit more darkness to it. No, they're just there to essentially stage a murder, a home invasion murder. But then, it bounces around, and you can see because Clooney's, a lot of his films have that Coen-y edge to them. Because he's a frequent collaborator with the Coen brothers, so a lot of his films have that edge to them, and you can definitely see the Coen brothers' fingerprint on it. But it just doesn't feel right. You feel like you're somebody else trying to take you on a tour of the Coen brothers' world, and it's not quite right. That's not a good way of putting it. That it's not got their aura and everything around it. And Clooney's a very good filmmaker. Let's not move away from that. And the cast is all really good in it. But I don't know. There's just something that feels a little bit off for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, it just... it's almost like you can see the joins in scenes,
absolutely.
Which is not how fucking screenwriting works at all. But it's literally... Here's one scene written by the Coens. Here's one scene written by Clooney and Heslov. And I don't know. It feels like if Clooney did this 10 years ago, he'd be getting kind of like lauded for paralleling, like having this kind of ironic attacking the black family next door when the family at the centre of it are so much worse.
Yeah, which I think is what it's going for.
Which is because I mean, like, you got that bit towards the end where the guy says these people are animals, and it's literally, it's all that setup for basically that point and the ending, and it just, it feels at best misguided, at worst, I think actually maybe a touch offensive in this day and age. For certain people, I wasn't offended by it, but I could see how people might be. That basically race is being used as an ironic backdrop in this film about white people.
Yeah, and I can completely see that. I think the fact that it's, I like you say, I wasn't uncomfortable with it, but like I think you're spot on right there. If somebody turned around to me and said, I thought it was a little bit uncomfortable with the fact that they had all that stuff going on for no comeuppance, and then the media, all attention is all not on the horrible thing that happened to the family. It's still about the townsfolk not wanting them there. I just felt it was a little bit too nihilistic.
Yeah. That's a fair point.
When effectively you've got this very kind of a single man, that kind of Coen-y beat and patter that's going on in the background. You've got him riding the bike in the fucking while you've got the booming noise and there's stuff like that. It's there's that playfulness that's going on in it, but actually it's kind of like you're looking at it going, I don't know whether or not you can be playful with that. I think that I don't think you're intentionally doing something. What is it? I think you've just misjudged this a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, he's obviously it's obviously well intentioned. It's definitely a misstep.
Yeah, it's an odd film. I actually quite enjoyed it in terms of visually it's nice and atmosphere it's nice and it's fun seeing sort of the Matt Damon being just a bit of an arsehole, and the fact that he literally explains to his kid that I'm going to kill you. But you watch him eating the sandwich going, you're not though, because you're eating the fucking sandwich, you dumb bastard. And Julianne Moore's character turning round to him and saying to the kid, right, you're not going to eat the meal I'm going to make for you, right? And basically just telling the kid what's going on, really.
Yeah.
And essentially threatening him was quite cool. And then you've also got, like you say, you've got the drum being banged, and all like the pots being banged next to the family's, what is it? And the kid talking to the other kid in the cellar entrance bit saying, just watching it going, yeah, it's fucking crazy, isn't it? Essentially is what the kid's saying. Yeah. You're going, oh my God, you shouldn't be that fucking rational about it. And then you've got that glorious shot of Matt Damon with a fucking ping pong paddle.
Yeah.
It's such an all over the place movie.
No, I mean that's exactly it. You gotta wonder whether, like, when they first screened it, like, immediately they were just like, oh no, fuck.
Does it seem a little bit like one of those films where they've made the film, finished the film, put it together, watched it and gone, this isn't the film we meant to make.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay. This doesn't make the sense that we thought it made. Crap.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, eh? That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and the thing is that there's some, Oscar Isaac turns up and he's a shitload of fun in it.
Yeah, he is. It's like 2 scenes that he's in. He's fucking great. And I like the fact that he kind of looks a bit sleazy and a bit greasy and whatnot. But it's like, actually, no, he's got him pegged and he's not the bad guy.
No.
Except he tries to blackmail him. So
yeah, he kind of, he says, you want a piece of it? He went, oh no, I want all of it. It's like, do you know what? I think if you'd have said I want like 10%, it'd have gone, okay, that's fine. I can live with that. But the fact that he got greedy got him killed.
Yeah, quite. I don't know. It's you could see why it kind of came out and it was just like, nah. And it just, nobody really seemed to like support
give a
it.
Shit.
Or really give a shit, yeah. And it shows that George Clooney's directorial career, it's kind of more of a surprise when he actually makes a good film now. It's very weird. You have to wonder.
It's really weird, yeah.
You do have to wonder if he's maybe just now just a bit out of touch. Like, it feels like he was 2005's man, and it's 2018.
Yeah, and is he really? Has he? I don't want to use the word. Has he still got the hunger for it? Because he's George Clooney. He's an Oscar winner, and he's been, one of cinema's most prominent male film makers, be it writing, directing, starring him for the past 20 years. I think you could say that. but it just feels like it's kind of like it's just not working for him at the moment, be it directing or starring in.
Yeah, quite. I don't know. It's a shame. It just fucking chill out on Lake Como and enjoy your wife and your kids, or kids, innit? Twins.
Yeah, kids now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, just enjoy that shit, man. You know, like, come back in a year or two when you're a bit refreshed.
Yeah, it does seem. I mean, he's done an awful lot in the past, 20 years, really. You know, he's made an awful lot of movies since, from Dusk Till Dawn, kind of announced him as being, able to be a movie star, not just a guy from ER.
Yeah, quite. So, where are you on this then?
Again, I think I'm touching cloth.
Yeah, I think I'm on definitely shit, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like mildly, but it is just a hot mess, and it is. It is really, it's ill-judged. It's like, I don't know, it's like he knew he had something a bit more slight and then tried to inject some politics in there.
Yeah, it'd be nice to know which bits. It's nice to read the Coen Brothers script and then the other script, just to kind of see which bits were fucking changed. Yeah, well, our audience thing, that was definitely not shit 10%, touching cloth 30%, and shit 60%.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you know what? In a rare thing for doing a monkey, I'm going to change my what is it? Because Unsane's definitely not shit. It's just is definitely not shit. I don't know why I said touching cloth, because it's not shit. It is not even close to being shit. So I'm completely wrong on that, so I'm changing mine on that to definitely not shit.
Good.
On Unsane, because it is, because I feel like I was far too snippy on it.
I think it's one of those ones where,
and I actually, the thing is, it's a 7.5 close 8 out of 10 for me. So that's definitely not shit.
It's one of those ones where one of us is quite high on it, the other isn't as high, so the other automatically sounds more neg.
Yeah, but I think that, I think that I come across far too negative in that, because it's a good film. I think people should go and see it. What I will say is, in terms of, if we're in this current debate, and that is something that happened, actually, we'll come to that in a second, because it'll segue quite nicely. In this current debate we're having between cinema versus watching something at home, Unsane, shot on an iPhone, deserves to be shown in a cinema more than Surburbicon, made by George Clooney and co-written by the Coens and starring multiple Oscar winners, does.
Yeah, fair comment, that.
So stick that up your fucking trumpet cans.
Yeah. Fuckers.
Fucking knobheads. That's such a can thing to fucking do, isn't it?
Yeah, that, I don't know.
For those who don't know people, I'm sure you do know, Khan have basically said that no films that are going to be Netflix films can be screened in competition. Can they still be screened?
I don't think so. I think it's just they're just not showing them.
They're not showing them. So this is Cannes, the film festival, because it goes against everything that Cannes stands for in terms of films that opened up last year with the first episode of a TV series.
It just... people are fucking saying, what's cinema anymore? And, like, TV is cinema and VR's there, and let's do all these new mediums, and, content is fluid. But shit, if it's Netflix, no, I don't want to... Fuck off. We've had this so many times, I'm actually genuinely starting to get a bit bored of talking about it myself. So, like, it just... Yeah. Just fuck off, Cam. Like, you're not gonna... If that's your attitude in a decade, you're not gonna have fucking anything, and Netflix are gonna be like, fuck you, we don't need you.
to be honest, it just smacks again of Cannes just trying to drum up publicity for themselves because they know that kind of that they're blowing themselves out a little bit in terms of it's become a little bit like it's become just something. It's become more about the parties and the dresses and the celebrities than it has the films.
Everything's become more than just the films. It's all more. Like whether it's fucking how marketing is whitewashing or how this person connected to this film said this, and like I'm seeing fucking debate online about whether T.J. Miller was originally actually physically in Ready Player One or not because of all the fucking sexual allegation shits. Now he's only got a voice role, and people saying, "Oh no, he definitely." Just talk about the film. Just talk. Oh, and also speaking of talk about the films, Empire have just announced they're launching a magazine specifically about TV. If that means Empire can now stop fucking talking about TV and actually start talking about films again, that'll be great.
Oh, that's it. So Empire's going to do a TV magazine and
Empire, but
that's a physical magazine.
Yeah,
not a
launching a physical magazine in 2018, which is a fantastic idea.
That's.
And
brave.
The editor of Empire and apparently this magazine, I think it's called Pilot TV, has said that Empire isn't going to change. And it's like, but you're doing what? So like in your TV magazine, you're going to have like a half dozen pages about films, are you then? Like this whole thing that bless James Gunn coming out there and saying about like going to the cinema by yourself is awesome. What do I see on Twitter today? Somebody fucking tweeting saying about what's all this shit suddenly about people fucking going to the cinema by themselves. I've been doing that for years. Good on you. Have a fucking biscuit.
I tweeted him. I replied tweeted to that and said, yeah, I've been going to the cinema basically since I was about 11, 12 years old as well, and it's great. It's how I fell in love with cinema.
But it's this like, what's all this shit about people saying about this? I've been doing fuck off. And I'm not going to say who it was. I'm pretty fucking sure the person doesn't listen to this fucking podcast anyway. So maybe I could say who it was, but I'm not going to.
I know who it was.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I saw it.
And it's just fuck off. Just, like, I don't know, man. Like, my default reaction to everything on film Twitter now is fuck off.
Yeah, I'm very much in a very similar kind of place. I'm actually thinking about starting fake outrage after I've watched Isle of Dogs and just go, well, after that was ridiculous, and just pick a particular breed of dog that isn't in it, and pick that out and go, well, I'm pissed off because there wasn't a single French bulldog in Isle of Dogs. This is ridiculous.
Hashtag je suis shih tzu.
Yes, something like that, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's all just really annoying.
It's all fucking white noise, to be honest to me.
I tell you what, deleting Facebook has been fucking incredible.
Because I don't really get in a conversation with people on Facebook, or Twitter anymore, really. I kind of feel like sometimes I'd like to. I kind of feel like I'd like to start going back to when people say something dumb, going, fuck off. Just wind your neck. Just stop for a minute being so fucking morally perfect. It's irritating.
I don't know, man. Seriously.
It is. There are people, and I feel like saying to them, all of Twitter isn't going to sleep with you. Stop it.
Yeah, quite. I'm saying this. I haven't had a drink for about a week and a half. Like, so, like, I'm not pissed saying this or whatever. I'm fucking. Oh, it's just so tiring. Fuck, man. Like, the thing is, I am left leaning. I'm a liberal. But fuck me, I bet being on the right is easy. Because it's just like, fuck off. This is my opinion.
You can literally say what you want.
Fuck off. I don't care what you think. Fuck off. Like, there's not the siren call to Trump's America or anything like that, but fuck me, the left make it hard sometimes.
Yeah, you literally, to segue very slightly, and I promise we'll come back to films.
I'm enjoying it more than the film chat. Do it, Mark. Go on.
My daughter's looking to become a vegan.
Fair
Isabel,
play.
she's wanting to become a vegan, and so being the liberal and left-leaning parents that me and Bex are, we both sort of said, if you want to give it a go, we'll happily support it. We'll do it where we'll have every week. What we'll do is we'll start off. We'll do a whole week of vegan meals, and every week we'll all of us, when we sit down to have a meal, we'll have a full vegan meal a couple of times a week, and we'll work around it and do stuff like that. If it's something you want to do, we'll stick behind it. And being a modern parent, I suppose, I sort of reached out to a few people and started asking a few sort of questions, and ended up getting involved in a bit of a chat with a few people on a WhatsApp group that somebody had said to me they'd set up, and so I could get a bit of advice on getting what foods to avoid and where to buy things and stuff like that, and recipes and bits like that. And I was sort of chatting away with some guy, and then this other girl came involved in it and started saying, "You can't have that. You can't have that." And I was like, "Right, hang on a minute. So I can't have honey? No, right, all right. Can you give me a reason?" And it give me a reason. She's like, "Oh, because it's exploiting the bees, anything like that." And I was like, "Okay. Could I have natural honey? No, because that's stealing from nature." It's like, okay, right, okay, fucking. So honey's out of the way. So I'm thinking, all right, that's fucking cool. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with putting honey in a box and putting honey out of the way. Whereas some other vegans were saying, you're fine with honey, it's okay. And then she said about broccoli. I was like, all right.
What's wrong with broccoli?
And I said, all right, what's wrong with broccoli? And that was all I said. Okay, cool. What's wrong with broccoli? And she said, one of the ingredients they use when they're growing broccoli, a lot of farmers, not all, right? A lot of farmers apparently when
abuse broccoli.
What is it? No, they put milk powder into the soil, because apparently it helps the broccoli get a greener glow. And of course, milk isn't vegan.
Yeah.
I was like, so I did a little bit of research into it and looked at it and found that it's bollocks. It's not true at all. This girl has just got it into her head that that's it. So I came back and just went, I've had a look into that. That's just not true. I ended up having to delete the group. This is the guy who'd set it up and said, thank you, and I really do appreciate it, but that fucking girl is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And he's
Jesus,
sending me messages telling me how, that our entire family should go vegan because, she can't be vegan if she lives in a non-vegan household, and she doesn't talk to her parents anymore because they still eat meat. And I was like, all right, you're just a bit nuts, sweetheart. You clearly be a vegan, that's fine, but clearly there's a lot more going on with this than that. Clearly some shit's happened.
Fucking hell, man.
And I don't want to get involved in that. Instead, the UK Vegan Society have been really, really helpful.
Well, that's great. That is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, literally, really non-judgmental. Sent me loads of information out. They've been pretty fucking cool about the whole thing. So if you have a child, spouse, or anything like that, or even if yourself are looking into going vegan, the UK Vegan Society, if you just email them and ask them for information, they'll send you fucking shitloads, and they're really, really nice about it. And they put you in touch with local restaurants and things like that.
Great. Okay. That's fucking A, and good on Izzy as well. That's quite the step change. Fair play to her.
Yeah. First of April, that's when she's going vegan.
Very good. Oh, well done, her. Okay. So rant over. On my side, then not on Mark's side. Completely my side. Should we talk some what we watched before we do Pacific Rim?
Yeah, we can do. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. What have you been watching, bud?
Well, I've been away for a couple of days. I was only away for like 2.5 days. But I was away in a log cabin doing Nothing. So I think I watched some films. I actually only watched a few films while I was there, but I've watched a couple since I got back. Did my customary watching of Hot Tub Time Machine in a hot tub.
Very good.
Yeah, my continued affection for that movie grows every time I watch it, and I watch it a couple of times a year. In the sense of I full blown love that movie, like absolutely adore the ridiculousness and the absurdity and the profanity of that movie. It's still quite something. There's either jokes that I forget are there or that I might never have noticed when I'm watching it, and I must be up to like 25 watches on that movie.
I'm a fan of how much you like that film, man. Fair play.
Yeah, I genuinely do. It creeps closer to be. I would say it's possibly in my top 10 movies of all time, which kind of makes me, in the back of my mind, there's just a guy sat in a chair that looks a lot like me, but like a better version of me. Who's just looking at me, and I can see it in his brain just going, "You're a dickhead."
Yeah.
And I'm looking back at him going,
Yep.
"Yeah, yeah, I am." So, yeah, Hot Tub Time Machine. I genuinely love that movie. I rewatched Chef.
Nice.
Chef's one of those movies where.
Was that when I was talking about watching YouTube videos about steak the other day?
Yes.
Very good. Well done.
Yeah, and there was the thing is with Chef is, and I've had this conversation with somebody who started out conversation, and the guy's a nice guy, but he's a chef for a living. And
he's a nice guy, but he's a chef for a living. What's that supposed to be?
It's going to make sense as the conversation goes along, the explanation goes along.
Right.
And he's not just like a guy who works in a restaurant. He's a guy. He's in chef circles. He's quite a well-known chef who goes around and does like pop-ups in certain little restaurants and places like that. He does like food circuits and bits like that. And he's very good, and his food's fantastic. But I remember having a conversation about the movie Chef, and he's like, "Yeah, but if you're a chef, you won't like that movie." It's like, why?
Tell me more.
And he's like, I said, why? Just out of curiosity, why? And he said, because it paints us all as just egotistical, arrogant wankers who just only give a shit about our craft. I was like, but you kind of are.
It's a solid response.
I love your food, but you are an egotist. You are an egotistical wanker about it. So it's kind of fair enough.
Strong, very strong.
But yeah, it makes me hungry watching Chef, which is kind of what it's supposed to do. I like how Jon Favreau is literally, he's so enthralled with the cooking process and things like that he shows you so much of it.
Oh yeah, man.
And that's what I like about it. The story is basically secondary to him going, I'm going to show you me making all this shit.
Oh, look at all this fucking food. You want it, don't you? You fucking want it, don't you? You dirty bastards. Go on.
And you look at it going, yes, I do.
I do.
Yes, I do.
Very much.
Literally, you want to eat straight after it. You look at whatever you eat after Chef, you're going to look at it and go, that's shit. Get the fuck out of my way. Yeah, but also it has the ridiculousness of, Jon Favreau, he managed to get with Sofia Vergara and Scarlett Johansson. Come on, John.
Well, man, I mean, like, if he can make... If I don't know, like, if he can make food that is that good,
There's a scene in it where Scarlett Johansson has just slept with him, and then he's making this pasta dish, and I'm looking at it going, that looks really nice, it's really fucking easy to make. But it's literally, she's watching him do it, and you're thinking, she's literally going, that's my reward for just letting you put your donger in me.
Yeah.
And you're going, it's kind of horrible, that. But I get your point.
Yes.
I like Chef.
Yeah, so do I. Very good. That's funny. Donger. just coming back to that. Interesting. Donger.
A movie that contains no dongers. Have we watched Minority Report on Saturday night whilst I was away?
Now, are you sure there are no dongers in Minority Report?
They are, but they're not on display because it's a Spielberg movie.
Okay.
So yeah, it's Minority Report's like 16 years old now, and it was kind of, it was in that weird kind of era of Spielberg where he was kind of, I don't know, he'd done Schindler's List, he'd done Saving Private Ryan, and he was kind of going, this was his sort of return back to like the blockbuster, just standardized blockbuster movie, I suppose. Minority Report. It was him working with, you know, the biggest director in the world, working with the biggest movie star in the world, with Tom Cruise, doing this futuristic cop thriller, and it still stands up as a really fucking good movie. It's way too long. It's like 2.5 hours long. So it's, as always, that's too long to tell this type of movie. But Colin Farrell's really fucking good in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I've always thought he was decent and like that, but then he's really fucking good in this movie.
Yeah, he is. He's fuck it. You just you don't know whether to trust him. Just when he gets found, like kind of when he gets killed as well. Just the complete fuck. I did not see this coming.
Yeah,
I remember. I distinctly remember that. Yeah,
yeah,
cracking.
and like you say, you think God, he's a wrong and everything like that, and he's bad. But what he actually is he's doing his job. He's just very ambitious with the way he's doing it, in the fact that he's willing to be a prick to get himself forward. But then once he realises, hang on a minute, this isn't all what it seems. It doesn't add up. He's the one who basically goes, nah, this doesn't add up. This guy ain't the guy we're looking for.
Yeah.
You know, that little switch there is really sort of well done. The effects still look fucking great. The world building's fantastic. There's an ickiness to it. It all fits together quite nicely. Yeah, I really enjoyed my time rewatching Minority Report.
Yeah, very cool, man. Very good.
I've got a couple more. Do you want to do some, or do you want me to finish?
No. Go ahead, mate. Go ahead.
Rewatch Wolf of Wall Street because I've wanted to rewatch it for a while now and thought, fuck it.
Oh, please tell me you still like it as much as you do.
More.
Yay! Okay,
Every fucking time I watch this movie, I like it more. This movie is 3 hours long, and I swear to God, 9 out of 10 movies that we talk about, I say is too long. And I think this movie is the perfect length, and it's 3 hours long.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love the fact that it is basically 3 hours long, because that is what Martin Scorsese had Final Cut up to.
Yeah, that's right. It like literally had, isn't it like 179 minutes?
179 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yeah,
I think
that's
it is.
great. Fair fucking play to him. That's fucking ballsy.
I know, and because we all know how how much Scorsese puts in the editing of a movie, and the fact that you know that he's gone, Thelma, I need us to get this to this,
Yeah.
because if we go another 30 seconds, then they can cut whatever they want out of it, and this is it. And also, well, it's a Martin Scorsese movie that he was skeptical about making at first. You know, it was he basically did it as a favour to Leonardo DiCaprio, in the same way as he did Raging Bull as a favour to De Niro.
That's right. Yes, indeed.
You know, but it also as well, it just shows he's not phoning it in. He's not taking a lead from anybody else. He's very much going, all right, I'll do it, but if we do it, we're doing it my fucking way. And DiCaprio's gone, that's why I want you doing it, because I want you to do this your way. And it's just, it's madness that you've got a guy who, when he was making it, was in his, I think, early 70s, still makes a movie that looks as fresh and as original. And people go, no, it's just Goodfellas on Wall Street. It's like, right, all right, if you want to be really fucking lazy about it, then do that. But it's not just Goodfellas on Wall Street. There's so much camera trickery and fucking about and really interesting shots. And then you've got a 70-year-old filmmaker with, again, possibly one of the most critically revered actors of his generation, and around at the moment, in Leonardo DiCaprio, doing that scene where he's taken the lemons.
Oh my word! Yeah,
and you've got him and Jonah Hill shouting at each other, but they can't, and in slow mo. And then the fucking Popeye thing with the cocaine. It's glorious, and the fact that people don't get that it's a black comedy that's showing you this and going, look at this guy, look at him, look at this guy, and people are saying, oh, it glorifies drug use. You know, he beats his wife up at the end, and it glorifies that, and it makes you fall for him and want to be like this guy. And it's like, are you serious? Nobody should want to be like that guy. His life. He basically explains that his life is a fucking joke and he's an arsehole. Jordan Belfort actually, at the end of the movie, himself says, I've met business tycoons, rock stars, movie stars, mafia bosses, and none of them are as degenerate as this guy.
Yeah.
And he's
Very nice.
basically going, and then he introduces Jordan Belfort. But that's him. He's just introduced himself, essentially.
Yeah.
And he freely admits, I'm a fucking prick. I'm an arsehole. But I've become comfortable in being an arsehole. It's who I am. And you've got to look at that and go, do you know what? Yeah, you're a fucking prick, but at least you've got the balls to admit you're a prick. And you're not a homophobic prick, a racist prick, or anything like that. You're just a prick who loves money. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah, it's funny, it's biting. The guy does get his comeuppance at the end. It really is a staggeringly wonderful film.
That's fantastic, man. Fair play.
And on to another movie, the final movie that I rewatched. I rewatched The Sitter.
Yes. I've been looking forward to this. How did it hold up?
It's fucking brilliant, The Sitter.
Mm-hmm.
It really is a truly unique and magnificent film. Because on the face of it, you look at it going, why is David Gordon Green, who is an autistic filmmaker, he is, you know, you look at some of the films he's made, why is he making essentially an updated version of Adventures in Babysitting with Jonah Hill?
It's a fair question to ask.
But then you watch it, and it's this really fucking weird, subversive movie that's got Sam Rockwell, Oscar winner Sam Rockwell, as a drug lord who's doing experiments on bodybuilders and who ranks all the people he meets in levels of where he puts them to being his best friends. It's so fucking weird. But then the other side of that, you've got Jonah Hill's character essentially working out all the kinks of these three kids who are messed up because their parents have taken their eyes off the ball because they're going through all of their shit. And he, in one night, manages to not completely solve, but get these kids over a lot of their neuroses that have built up that their parents are ignoring because they don't want to acknowledge it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he essentially, the kid played by Max Record, Slater, gets him to admit that he's gay and makes him comfortable with it. Gets the little girl to stop being that weird thing she is. Gets the fucking adopted kid to kind of chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
Really. whilst also sorting out a lot of his own shit, it's got stuff to say, whilst also having JB Smooth stop a guy in a car with his dick on fire, and the taxi say, "Your dick's on fire." He's like, "I know my dick's on fire. That's the way your mama like it."
I don't remember that. Good stuff.
It's brilliant, and Sam Rockwell again proves that no matter what, he looks cool as fuck.
Yeah.
The bit where he's about to get beaten up by all of the fucking hood gang, and he's still spouting off these weird lines, and then gets a few good shots in.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Honestly, I to give a bit of what is it, when me and Becky go to the cabin, there is Wi-Fi there, and we have previously taken Apple TV and stuff like that. We could do that. But the first time we went, we didn't know there was a DVD player there, and we'd gone through on the first day through to Bridlington, because Bridlington's quite close, and had gone into a CEX that used to be open there, and had bought a couple of DVDs from there. So now whenever we go to the cabin, and we try and go a couple of times a year, but sometimes I manage to get to go once a year, we'll go to CEX in York and buy DVDs to limit it, to go, right, this is what we can watch. We don't want to have choice. We want to limit it down to 4 or 5 movies, and we'll work it from there. And our remit is the sort of stuff that would be on ITV 2 or 3 over a weekend.
Good stuff.
Minority Report. We took a movie called Soul Survivors, which we did watch, but I kind of fell asleep halfway through, so I don't remember it that well. The Sitter. Stuff that would be on for those type of things. So I bought that. I'm actually going to buy it on iTunes now as well, because I want to own it properly.
Very good.
Because I want to continue rewatching it.
Good stuff, man. Fair play.
Yeah. I fully admit that I'm an idiot. But at least I'm an idiot that enjoys shit.
That's true, man. Yeah, I don't know. You live your fucking best life, mate. And if that's by watching The Sitter in a fucking hot tub, then so be it.
Yeah. Go on, what have you been watching this week?
It's very good. It's very good. Okay, so rewatched Midnight Run, which is just great.
I fucking love that movie.
Like, Charles Grodin is doing some next level funny shit in that film by not doing a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's amazing. He's the straight man, but he's funnier than the more active one.
Yeah.
Which is really rare. Just that bit where they're in the bar trying to, like, and they get the money by pretending to be the FBI agents.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Like,
yeah, he's there saying, tall guy, red hair. No, this was a short guy with dark hair. Damn it, that's our man. No, that's our man. That's it. It's fucking amazing. That film, like, just the running gag with Robert De Niro impersonating Yaphet Kotto. Like, it's incredible. De Niro with the glasses, where he's sat in between them all, and he just puts the glasses on and looks at them both. You can see why when De Niro says it's his favourite movie of all his movies.
Oh, God, yeah. No.
And it's the only movie... De Niro says it's the only movie of mine that I can watch.
Fair play. No, I mean, it's De Niro in the kind of full, weird mix of charisma and slightly... and kind of imposing... mixture that he can do, and that's fully here. It's it's great. It's great.
First film I bought on iTunes. That
really? Oh,
yeah. Midnight Run was the first film I bought on iTunes.
Oh, very nice. No, that's great. Okay, so rewatched Popstar Never Stop Never Stopping. I think it's the fifth time I've watched that film in 2 years. But Donna had never seen it, so I wanted to get her to take a cheap. Yeah, cheap. I don't think she liked it as much as me, but she did like it, so that's something at least.
Yeah, you can definitely accept that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, I watched the Darjeeling Limited, and
How did that hold up?
third time I've seen it. I watched Hotel Chevalier, the short film before it as well. It's $3.99 on iTunes this week. So the first time I watched it, I really, really didn't like it. The second time I watched it, I thought it was great. And third time, I'm a little bit less than great, but still way more liking it than I did the first time round.
That's really interesting then, because the first time I watched it in the cinema, I really liked it. And then when we watched it on DVD, I couldn't stand it.
The thing is, as soon as you realise that these guys are all fucking pricks, and basically by the end of the film, they've become maybe 20% less pricks, then I found peace with it. That was the thing. Also I've become more into what I'm buying what Anderson is selling more as I get older. So,
which I think I'm going the other way.
Yeah, because I think you are as well. And Isle of Dogs, I think, is going to be a fascinating conversation.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I mean, shit, it's I Love Dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be great. Better be. So, yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. It's Anderson doing his thing, but I think there's more actual emotion to it.
It feels like the Anderson film that gets spoken about the least.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. Because Life Aquatic's quite zany.
Yeah, I spoke about a lot. Rushmore always gets spoken about because people like to say, "Oh, well, it might be his first film." It's like it's actually not, but carry on.
Yeah,
but it's the one I like the most. It's like, all right, you see Bottle Rocket. And Royal Tenenbaums obviously is probably his best film, but it just does seem like Darjeeling Limit is the one that always seems to get missed by people.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, like, it was after Life Aquatic, which, was his big film after Royal Tenenbaums, and it kind of went out with a bit of damp squib. And then in terms of box office, and then you've got this, which, it's got a short film, and like the suitcases are designed by Mark Jacobs, and the music of the films of Satyajit Ray. It's very...
It does feel like it's very indulgent Anderson.
Yeah, it is. And it totally is. But it's also got, I think, the most nakedly emotional sequence, like 10 minutes or so in any Anderson film. The bit where they try and save the boys that are going, like, washing down the river, and one of them dies, and like just how that plays out, I think is quite something. Even though, to be fair, there is also a slight element of grief tourism to that. Just because it's basically these white guys come in and they save two of the kids, one of them dies, and they go to the funeral, and then it kind of feels like 10 minutes later they've completely forgotten about it. With a 2018 eye, there are a lot of films that you could see getting reassessed.
But then the thing there is, you can't, though.
No, you can't. You can't.
I don't know, it's because I had this same argument with somebody about a year ago who was saying that Breakfast Club was a horrible movie because it was really sexist and misogynist, and I thought, oh, you've completely missed the point. You're putting your ideals and your values on it, and you were, your parents were probably too young to fucking watch it.
No, absolutely. I don't know. It's by far not Anderson's best film, but I think it's a solid 4. And I really like Hotel Chevalier as well. It does give quite a bit of colour to some of the stuff actually going on in Darjeeling Limited.
Yeah, I remember the weird thing was, I couldn't have watched that before it was out at the cinema because it wasn't available, but then it was on the DVD.
Indeed, yeah, I think it was one of those ones where it was like some limited screenings they put Hotel Chevalier on as well. And to be fair, it literally says in it Hotel Chevalier Part 1 of the Darjeeling Limited. And you can see that. You can totally see that. Okay, last thing for me. Peter Rabbit.
You went to see Peter Rabbit?
Well, with Lottie.
Of course, yeah. Of course, we're going with Lottie, yeah. Go on, then. How?
It's interesting that you think I might actually consider seeing Peter Rabbit by myself.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Even though from the director of Easy A, so... yeah, I'm pretty... Will Gluck, didn't he do Easy A?
Will Gluck, yeah, he did Easy A.
Yeah, he directed Peter Rabbit.
And, fucking hell, his last film before that, wasn't his last film before that the Annie?
Yeah, that's right, it was. It totally was.
Yeah, he fired up Easy A, Friends with Benefits, the Jay-Z Annie, and then Peter Rabbit.
Which contains no less than 3 separate songs by Vampire Weekend on the soundtrack.
Oh, it's so fucking odd.
Which really weirded me out. Because it's like, this guy really likes... Interesting, Vampire Weekend. That's it. There's another Vampire Weekend. Why is there another Vampire Weekend song in Peter Rabbit?
Did you start to think, is this scored by Vampire Weekend?
Yeah, no, like, it was like, what, is Ezra Koenig actually fucking just like, is he got points in this or something? And like, who, by the way, I was randomly listening to Beats One the other day, the Apple Music station. He does a show on there. That guy's fucking funny.
Fair enough.
Like, it's weird. Like, he was doing this really, really, like, deep breakdown of that Drake song God's Plan.
Oh, yeah.
And, but, like, not in a serious way. Just, like, really, really taking the piss out of it. It was brilliant. It was strong. Anyway.
Actually, that sounds quite good, actually, that.
It was alright. Anyway, Peter Rabbit. Yeah.
It exists.
I don't get it. It's really... I don't believe anyone involved in this knows who Beatrix Potter is. Like, it's bizarre. It's this rabbit who's a fucking prick.
Isn't it voiced by James Corden?
Yeah, which helps with that image.
Yeah, it does.
Who gets into pretty much murderous scraps with Domhnall Gleeson. Now, Domhnall Gleeson, right? He inherits this property off of his, like, uncle, played by Sam Neill. Sam Neill is Mr. McGregor for about 5 minutes in this film. And then he dies. And then he comes in, and he was going for a promotion in his job, doesn't get it, goes a bit mad, inherits this house, just wants to sell it so he can buy a toy shop. It's like, okay, cool. That seems like a good aim. And Peter Rabbit, like, he stops Peter Rabbit from, like, getting in, and it's like, alright, well, to be fair, it's his fucking garden. And, like, there's plants and stuff, and he doesn't want you to eat his fucking plants. He's kind of, yeah, alright, fair enough.
You're there going, I know he's the villain of the piece, but I kind of see his point.
When Domhnall Gleeson was straight up trying to murder Peter Rabbit, I wasn't quite bloodlust, yeah, get that prick. But I was quite like, yeah, bud, see your point, good luck to you. Lottie took 3 wee breaks and said at the end of it, "Daddy, that was a bit boring," which was amazing. I've barely ever been prouder of her. There's a couple. Excuse me. There's a couple of laughs. Sorry, and it looks great. You know, it looks really good. CG's good. Production value, awesome.
Yeah.
But it's really violent. Like, the amount of times someone gets electrocuted is staggering. And the Peter Rabbit's a prick. He's a fucking bellend. And by the end, he's still a bellend. So
yeah, it's not one that's made me go, fuck it, I'll give it a go.
And it's made a fucking fortune as well. It's done really well in the US. It's doing really well over here. And he's a prick. Like, there you go. So that Peter Rabbit, I rooted for the fucking farmer.
The bad guy.
Fucking... And you know what? Donald Gleason becomes mates with Peter Rabbit in the end, and it was like, fucking dickhead. You don't deserve your toy shop. Seriously, like, it is annoying. I straight up, it is annoying when you have to take your kid to the toilet like 3 or 4 times during a film, but I just didn't care. It was like, if it was like during Coco or something, I'd be like, right, fuck, what are you doing, kid? Like, just put a nappy on. No, I wouldn't do that. But like, it just...
It'd irk you.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, Peter Rabbit. Right.
How you doing, Nate?
It's Ranger Lambert.
Are you having a laugh?
Well, this is a military base. You remember how that works? Ranger Pentecost. And you must be a Maranamani.
Yes, sir. Ranger, sir.
Well, let's get you squared away. Oh, and try not to steal anything while you're here.
Did that haircut just call you Pentecost? As in badass snacker Pentecost? Pilot of Coyote Tango, hero of basically the whole world?
It's just a name.
Yeah, really cool name.
Pacific Rim Uprising is directed by Stephen Esther Knight and stars John Boyega, Scott Eastwood, Rinko Kikuchi, Charlie Day, Bern Gorman, and others. So, set 10 years after the first film, John Boyega is little baby Pentecost. I can't remember his first name. Jake. It's Jake.
Jake.
It's totally Jake. He is a bit of a wrong-un. But being threatened with jail time, he is saved by his kind of adopted sister, played by Rinko Kikuchi, Mako, or Mako, I believe they say. Anyway, to basically teach a bunch of young cadets to be Jaeger pilots. And wouldn't you know it, just happens in time when there's a new threat coming from somewhere. It's weird though, because the rift does not seem to have cracked or anything. What exactly is going on? Mark, what do you think of Pacific Rim Uprising?
Cannot work out what the fuck people's problem is with it.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely can't even look at it in any way and go, well, it's a bit this or it's a bit that, anything like that. I love the fact that it's set in daylight. It's a nice juxtaposition to Pacific Rim.
Needed more neon and rain. I'm sorry. Even if it was daytime neon for some reason and rain. I just wanted neon and rain. Sorry.
I like the fact that essentially it's going for a bit of a Pacific Rim Juniors aesthetic on it. I quite like that element of it. I actually think you could say that Pacific Rim is more hokey than Pacific Rim Uprising.
Interesting.
I think it is. I love Pacific Rim, but I think that Guillermo del Toro gets away with a certain amount of hokiness because of the way that he does it. He does it in a very nice and stylized way. But I do think that it's a little bit more hokey than this. This is more... I don't know, it feels... There's a different feel to it. John Boyega, who I was really worried about because I personally think he's crap in the Star Wars movies, and he was like a charisma vortex in fucking The Circle, where every time he was on screen, I was going, I can't understand what he's saying. He's boring me so much. But then again, I think that's more the film's problem.
He was the least of the Circle's problems.
In this, he's charismatic as fuck.
Yeah, he's fucking amazing in this.
He's brilliant in this. Like, genuinely charismatic, funny. It's very much his movie, but he's not wandering around pushing people around going, fuck it, fuck off, I'm the guy from Star Wars, I'm here. He lets everybody else have their space to do stuff. He manages to give Scott Eastwood personality.
Yep, they vibe off each other pretty fucking well in this.
Really well. And the fact is, the movie actually calls out Scott Eastwood in his first scene when the girl goes, "What did that haircut just say to you?"
Yeah.
It's a good story. It fucking looks great. The performances in it are cracking. When Scott Eastwood is good in something, you know that you're onto something. It zips along at a really nice pace. I think it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Same. It's my surprise of the year so far.
Absolutely.
Not been into the marketing at all, as has been well documented. Fully. I went in last Friday night basically thinking, right, okay, I can actually do with some monster robot smashy, but I was still fully expecting it to be shit, and I had a really good time with it. Like, the Charlie Day twist is a genuine, legit fucking twist.
Yeah, when he's and all spoilers all the time, guys. When he's in the room with Bern Gorman and he goes like that, and he goes, the planet, you go, oh shit, that makes so much sense now. You do not see it coming.
Because that's the thing. You got that earlier scene where it's like he's with his girlfriend, and it's like, right, that's fucking weird.
Yeah,
but then
the fact is that he said earlier to what is it? He's trying to get Bern Gorman to come and meet his girlfriend. He's like, you still haven't met Alice.
Yeah, and it you know, it's like you do just kind of think, right, he's a bit fucked, that one, but you don't think he's the bad guy despite that.
What's wrong when he gets back to the apartment? You know something's wrong, and you're thinking,
yeah, all
right, what is it? And you're thinking, is she a robot?
Yeah.
Is she a hologram? Oh shit, it's the kaiju brain. Yeah. Wow. Did not expect that.
But that's the thing, but you still don't think, right, he's going to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
It's really weird. Like, and, you know...
You think it's her.
Yeah.
You think it's her because she looks like a fucking villain.
Straight up. You know, and then by the end, she's fucking there, all, like, with the good guys, like, running around in that fucking big virtual ball thing.
Yeah.
And just, having a great time. I mean, the action is fun. It's pacey as all hell. The idea of bringing the fight to them next time, which, to be fair, Independence Day 2 also ended on pretty much the same thing, and we're not getting a third one of those. Shit, man. I would watch a third one of these, no problem.
Absolutely, with this
same cast,
add a couple of people into it. Yeah, I'd be well up for watching it. Probably, we say it probably won't happen, but this film hasn't opened in Asia yet, which is where Pacific Rim opened.
Well, no,
it made all its money.
It's opened in China, isn't it? Because it's done 150 million worldwide this past weekend, which is not too shabby. But
is that including China?
Yeah, I believe so. But that's, like, basically, it's on, we've made our budget back now, like, in terms of production budget, now we've got to make back the prints and advertising and get in the black a little bit.
Ah, right.
So, you know, can it get there is the question, and obviously...
That's it. It's got to make 350, 400 million on it to break even.
I think if it does 350, I think they they go for a trilogy ender.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, and it could do that.
Maybe
it's going to be a push.
There's competition. I mean, like, I think Ready Player One is going to be a bit of a sleeper over the next few weeks. Like, obviously, I'm assuming you'll see that the next week or so. So we'll get your thoughts. But yeah, but no, yeah, it's a big, silly, fun thing.
It is. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'll happily rewatch it. I'd happily watch another one. I was very pleasantly surprised. I was very pleasantly surprised about how fucking good John Boyega is. I still haven't seen Detroit. I need to see that because apparently he's fantastic in that as well. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's not. What I was surprised at. Because yourself liked it, and Mike went to see it, and Mike Opportunity for Punter went to see it, and he said that he'd really liked it. I went there and sat down and thought, right, so this is going to be a bit of a Geostorm shit, but entertaining and good. And it isn't. It's just genuinely
definitely not
good movie.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a good movie. And when it finished, I turned to Bex and said, "What did you think?" She went, "I loved it. I thought it was really good." It's like, I'm the same. I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
And then I said to her, as we're on our way to watching Unsane, I said, I can't get what people's problem would be with it. The story makes sense. It's a good story. The acting's all fine. It looks really nice. It doesn't look like the lesser brother of a bigger movie. It doesn't have the Del Toro-ness of it, so that there is that to take from it. But still, like, I'm seeing like 3 out of fucking 10 reviews and 2-star reviews. It's just like, do you know what? No.
Yeah,
you need to watch
get over yourselves.
You need to watch some genuinely shit movies if you think this is a shit movie.
Yeah.
I was really shocked at how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if this isn't in my top surprises of the year.
Yeah, I'd be stunned if it's not number one for me, to be honest. I really did not rate its chances at all going in. So yeah, fair play.
And it fucking zips by.
Yeah, it does. Really does. Well, how'd the poll turn out?
Definitely not shit, 11%.
Okay.
Touching cloth, 11%.
Right.
Shit, 67%.
Oh, wow.
And Geostorm, 11%.
How many votes?
14.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's interesting. Kind of surprised by that.
I am actually, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so we've got no emails. Have we got any Twitter questions?
We don't. We do actually, I think, have one from last week, though.
Oh, okay.
That we didn't get to. Let me have a double check. Let's have a look. Yes, we do. What's the one item of a cooked breakfast you don't mind being missing?
Egg.
You're not a fan of egg?
Fucking hate egg.
Is that in general? Because I don't like. I have to have my eggs so they're solid. I can't have a runny egg. It generally makes me feel sick just thinking about it.
Fucking no.
So if I get eggs, I have to say to them, do them as solid as humanly possible.
Egg in any form by itself, nah.
Mushrooms. I like mushrooms. Just don't eat them on my breakfast.
Okay, fair enough.
But that would be it. Or fried bread. Don't like fried bread.
Oh, really?
Just toast is fine. Yeah, I don't like fried bread.
No, that's true.
Too heavy.
Okay. Right, so that's that then. It's an interesting question. Okay, next week we're doing Playing It Forward with Noel. We're going to be covering Miss March, Platoon, and King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. There's a fucking triple bill.
Yes.
We'll also record episode 250, where we'll be covering Isle of Dogs. And I don't know, maybe some other stuff. We'll see what we get to. Mark's and Goey, I'm going to go not eat. And thank you very much for listening, folks.
Thank you much for listening, guys. Speak to you soon.
Bye-bye.
You talk like Marlene Dietrich, and you dance like Zizi Jeanmaire. Your clothes are all made by Balmain, and there's diamonds and pearls in your hair. Yes, there are. You live in a fancy apartment off the Boulevard Saint-Michel, where you keep your Rolling Stones records and a friend of Sacha Distel. Yes, you do. But where do you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed? Tell me the thoughts that surround you. I want to look inside your head, yes I do. I've seen all your qualifications you got from the Sorbonne, and the painting you stole from Picasso. Your loveliness goes on and on, yes it does. When you go on your summer vacation, you go to Juan-le-Pin with your carefully designed topless swimsuit. You get an even suntan on your back and on your legs. And when the snow falls, you're found in Samoritz with the others of the jet set, and you sip your Napoleon brandy, but you never get your lips wet, no you don't. But where do you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed? Won't you tell me the thoughts that surround you? I want to look inside your head, yes I do. Your name, it is heard in high places. You know the Aga Khan. He sent you a racehorse for Christmas, and you keep it just for fun, for a laugh. They say that when you get married, it'll be to a millionaire, but they don't realize where you came from. And I wonder if they really care or give a damn. Where do you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed? Tell me the thoughts that surround you. I want to look inside your head, yes I do. I remember the back streets of Naples, two children begging in the rags, both touched with a burning ambition to shake off their lowly born takes. They try. So look into my face, Marie Claire, and remember just who you are. Then go and forget me forever. But I know you still bear the scar deep inside, yes you do. I know where you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed. I know the thoughts that surround you, 'cause I can look inside your head.